Hey guys, Kunal here. Coming at you with some Rengar gameplay. Me and a buddy hopped on to do some testing. We wanted to see how the Vex matchup was to see if Rengar had any viability this upcoming set. So here's the Rengar list that I played, just slightly different than the one I showed you guys on the deck profile. I'm playing two Brynhirs. After thinking about it more, like as much as I don't like this card, I think just having Brynhir with Thrill of the Hunt it's too important because unlike other decks who get a one-time use out of Bryn here, we actually get to use it multiple times. And I think you'll see in the Vex matchup coming up that this card was actually absolute MVP, and Lord Broadmane was pretty useless. So I'll make a few changes to this deck list after the testing session, but I want to show you what I was playing with. And for Vex, this is the list that my friend came up with. I think he did change it a little bit from here than what was played. I think we decided that the signature unit was like not that good, so we didn't want to play it. Might have added a couple more of these green Vexes, and then yeah, I think and then maybe like one or two more back off. So this is pretty close to the list that we played. I just want you guys to see that what we were testing with, and let's hop into the gameplay. All right, so here, this is like a game one, like blind battlefields. I'm going first, so I chose to test Forbidden Waste, and he's choosing Targon's Peak. Targon's Peak is one of those battlefields that suits us too, but it also suits him. It's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't really want to play Targon's Peak, because it was like a pretty neutral battlefield that both sides benefit out of. So we just play the Inferna and pass. He's playing the uh, Alley or whatever it's called, the 3-drop that gives everybody deflect. This card's insanely good. It completely, stops you from trying to target their Vex. Their Vex gets deflect 2, and they run a bunch of counter spells and things. So anytime you try to choose the Vex, it's a really big problem. Just looking at the Rengar side, so I think the way to play this matchup is to get a bunch of units in base and then play your Brynhir and then hit their Vex off of a battlefield with like a really large attack. They like to the Vex deck likes to use stun as its primary mechanic, and if you attack really wide, they have a hard time stunning a whole bunch of units, and then they don't get like really tall like Irelia does, because all they really have is discipline and on guard rather than like Irelia, who has like defiant dance and like gear and stuff. Um, so yeah, here I just decide to play like this, hold this battlefield. I'm going first, so even if he holds the other battlefield and I'm holding this battlefield, I'll win the game before he does, so he would have to make a move on me first. Rengar's a deck that doesn't mind holding. If I don't think that's worth it, I think if I, yeah, I think just saving the 5 for a defensive Rengar from the champion zone might be okay. So here he pushes my Brynhir back with the fan, which was pretty expected. Now if he has nothing else, we would just kill each other and trade. There is an argument on that turn, on this combat, to instead of attacking all 3 at once, I could go in like one at a time. Like, before showing him my first mate and my Noxious Hopeful play, I could have just gone in with the Inferna to see what he would want to do. Maybe he'd want to Overzealous Fan me right there and then. Because if he doesn't, my Inferna would probably just... Well, he might not want to, because my Inferna would just kill the Overzealous Fan, but he'd also kill my Inferna. And then I would definitely want to use First Mate and push the Hopeful and the Brynhir in. So then they would attack for 9, he would be at 7. If he goes Discipline, we kill everything. Everyone kills everything. There is an argument to actually try and get the Forbidden Waste value by going one by one, even after the Inferno. So send in the Inferno, kill, let the Overzealous Fan and Inferno trade off. Send in the Brynhir, see what he does. If he has like a stun, then I just lose the Brynhir. But then I can play the first mate and a Noxious Hopeful to kill his Vex, and then all he's left with is the green card. And it's not terrible for me, because I still have 5 energy. I could play like Beans, and I could play a Nidalee, or I could just keep it in hand. It's about the same thing. Yeah, and then the Forbidden Waste would be active, so his Vex would be alone. Yeah, so there's some options here on this turn on how to play, so I'm not sure. We don't have to talk about it too much here. Point being, I go with this line where I attack everything at once. He plays Discipline on his Vex, so I'm doing 7, he's dealing 9, but I get to kill the Vex. That's the important thing, that's what I wanted. Once that Vex is dead, this whole deck has a lot more game. So yeah, I just play the Beans. I'm thinking about Nidalee. I just played the Nidalee. I'm like, okay, if he has another Vex, and I have this Nidalee in base, I can probably just kill it in combat again. So he just passes. When he passes like this, that Valmos card that you guys might have seen in the deck profile, that's what I'm thinking about. It's like pretty face up at this point. I'm also thinking, how can I get him to just waste 8 mana and have done nothing? So I think I just move everyone to the other battlefield. I'm thinking about attacking, but it just plays directly into Valma, and I would just lose my unit. So I don't end up attacking. I just take the other battlefield. Just develop units. Targon's for end of turn. It's all good. He will go fight or flight, and then yeah, he's gonna try to make a move on me here. So this is the Valma ambush. He has 11 on his side. I've got 9 currently. The thing is though, like even though my units don't deal damage, because I'm the defender, he has to have more might than I do, and he's tapped out. So now I can do this Nidalee. She's at 5, so now I have 14 on my side. So even though I might lose a bunch of units, he'll get sent back to base, which is the important thing, I think. Just not letting them get onto a battlefield ever. Once they're on a battlefield and they have stun active, it becomes extremely difficult. So here we just go to 5. We take the other battlefield. So I have a Fae trigger here. I'll use the Fae on their green card, and they'll die. My Nidalee will get to draw a card for me, which is nice. I'll just develop more units to base. I have 5 open for this Rengar to defend if I need it. And then a pass. Now he'll come here to this battlefield. I don't want to give him the Rengar to die. Like, even though I'm 1 might above him if I play the Rengar, or 2 might above him if I play the Rengar, it's just too easy for him to get over. He has so many cards in hand. It could easily be like On Guards and Disciplines, or Fight or Flights and Rebukes, and any kind of trick to prevent me from winning that combat. So I just play the Rengar to the other field to trigger the Fresh Beans, which I think is fine. He'll play the green Vex to base. Skip ahead. He'll play a Treasure Hunter, and then he'll get 2 back for the Targons. I just move everything to this battlefield, and I'll trigger the Fae to bring his green Vex over. If I kill his green Vex, he probably won't be able to break this battlefield, and I should just be able to hold over to 8. Just checking. Sorry, what does he do? Does he do anything? Oh yeah, he plays a card. Oh, he plays Not So Fast. Okay, so he just Not So Fast my Fae trigger, so he keeps his Vex. I just put every single thing I can onto the battlefield. I've got 9, 13, 14, 20, 24. I've got 24 might. I have another ambush in hand. I can go to 29. And his Valma's stuck on the Targon's peak. Even if he goes Fight or Flight to bring it back, he'll have 13 plus 1, 14. He'll have 14 into my 24. He'll need like multiple tricks in order to get over this. More importantly, he doesn't have the purple Vex at a battlefield, so my Lord Broadmane in hand would not be stunned when I play him. So that's like a +6, which is nice. Here he plays a back off, stunning my orange Rengar just to get another card draw, looking for outs. And then he just tells me that he has no outs. So we were able to take this game with Rengar. I think this showcased kind of like, once you get onto a battlefield, holding onto it's extremely important against Vex. They have a really hard time coming back into it. Here we just play the same game. Well, we don't do any side deck cards. I'm just gonna go second, and we'll just play on different battlefields. I'm not gonna go into the mulligan right now. I think I'm just looking for the Faith Oak. I think it's like the most important card in order to have a chance. You can like try and move their Vex over to a battlefield early on and isolate it. So he'll play Treasure Hunter. I'm just thinking how I can sequence my turns to be impactful. So I'm just going to play the Inferno right now. Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, there's no reason to play the Grim Apothecary. There's no reason to play the Mischievous Mirai. And I don't think it's time for Beans just yet either. So yeah, they do the Vex thing where they just, you know, completely stack that battlefield. It's on the Willow grove of the Willow or whatever, so they're gonna be drawing 2 cards a turn, and it's really hard to get over this. I think taking this battlefield is a mistake. I think what I should be doing is just playing a bunch of units to base. If they score 1 point a turn by just holding one side of the one battlefield, I think that's completely okay. I think once you are able to like go all in on them and kick them off that battlefield, then you have a chance of winning the game. So just scoring this 1 point and moving this Inferno up here, I don't think actually does anything for me. I think the best thing to do is just play the Grim Apothecary and play the Mischievous Mirai. Play both of those to base. The other cards in my hand are kind of unfortunate that they don't really help me, but it is what it is. And I think if I had Inferno, Apothecary, and Mirai all in my base, and I attacked with like all 3 at the same time, I had a chance. Either the following turn or the turn after that, I have a chance to kill that purple Vex. Okay, we'll just skip ahead. So he plays Bone Skewer. It's a pretty funny interaction. The Grim Apothecary reads, when you play me, you may return a friendly unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand. So it can choose itself because it's at a battlefield. So his Bone Skewer doesn't do anything. I just bounce my Apothecary back to my hand. So that's pretty nice. Now he has the Alley along with the Vex. So that battlefield's extremely hard to do anything to. His Vex has Deflect 2. He'll hide another card and pass the turn. Here, I just reveal the Mirai so I can keep holding that battlefield and scoring my point. Calling back the Inferno, who's a better attacker, and playing this Rengar from Champion Zone to base, just because of this Vex stunning everything. And this, when I do reveal the Mirai, I have 1 extra energy that I didn't use, so just missequence a little bit, but we'll just give it the buff in case it matters. He's still drawing 2 cards per turn, which is, you know, really crazy. He just passes. He plays a stack deck, and then he passes with all this energy up. Now I draw into Against the Odds, which is one of the best cards to try and break their hold. It's really hard for them to get high on might, so you kind of need to attack wide. Let them stun like as many dudes as possible, and then whoever is not stunned, you try and boost that 1 unit to deal damage. So I think I just push up with all 3. I think I missequence slightly. I think I should try and bait any kind of like Defy or something with Thrill of the Hunt. And if I play the Thrill of the Hunt right here, it does cost me 3 power, right? Like the total sequence, if I go Thrill of the Hunt, play the Mirai to the battlefield that I'm attacking, and the Mirai deals 2 damage to the Vex, so that's deflect 2. So that's 3 power that I would lose. But then there's a chance that they might see that and then be like, okay, well, if I can't stun 4 attacking units, then this Vex will die. And if this Vex dies, can I still play the game or not? So they might end up defying that. And then if they defy that, my against the odds has a higher chance of resolving. So I think that's the correct sequence. Instead, I do it the wrong way. I play against the odds first. So heal Thwonk with repeat and stun both Kaisa and Rengar. Obviously, insanely good for him. So yeah, here I'll do against the odds on my Inferna. So it'll go from 3 might to 7. But then he has a defy. So the Inferna's back to 3. And then and then yeah, here I just do my Thrill of the Hunt. I'm thinking about Grim Apothecary just to like save a unit, but just the way the math is working out, if he wants to trade out everything, he can kill my Inferna and my Kaisa, and then my Rengar would live. So then this is kind of just like a so by playing the Grim Apothecary, I could return the Kaisa back to my hand and let the Grim Apothecary die instead. I don't know if that's a good play or not. I'm just trying to puzzle it out in my head. I don't think that's a good play because I just need, like, if this attack failed, I just need more units in base to try to attack again, and slowing that down by returning something to my hand is not good. I can just play the Apothecary to my base directly if I really need to. So then eventually I just come to this Thrill of the Hunt play, because the Inferno can still do damage. It's not stunned. So if I Thrill of the Hunt the Mirai over and target his Vex, I do pay a bunch of power, but at least I have a chance of killing the Vex, and then I have a chance of playing the game once the Vex is gone. So he doesn't have a defy, so this happens. He can't not so fast this. He's only at 1 energy. I played a unit during a showdown, so my Beans gets to draw a card. And so now he taps out his 1. It was a stack deck. So he does that. All these units are stunned. The Inferna is still doing damage from combat. But then he just has a fight or flight. So he just fight or flights my Inferna. So now my whole attack failed. I think the game's over at this point. He just draws infinite number of cards, and my units in base are not going to be enough to ever break that battlefield. So, yep, that was that game. Now this game, we're siding, so I decided to put in Stare Down. I decided to put in Challenge. This Stare Down card, I thought at first was like a Mickey Mouse card, but it might actually end up mattering. So here, I think we're playing this like a game 2 where I'm going first. And I think am I going first? Yeah, I'm going first. So for my going first, I picked Forbidden Waste. Maybe, I don't know if this is actually a going first battlefield, or this reads like a going second battlefield more to me. So maybe that's the wrong pick, but it doesn't really matter for this video. So yeah, here I want to take the Targons, so I'm forcing him onto the Forbidden Waste, so he has to try and hold on to that battlefield, and then if I send my units in like 1 at a time and am able to isolate his last unit, it would get the -2, which would make it that much easier to try to win a combat in. So that's nice. So I just play the Kaisa rather than the Noxious Hopeful, because I don't have a way to trigger the Legion here, and I'd like to get that value. So yeah, they just do the standard move a unit up, take the battlefield, play the Vex from Champ Zone, hide a card. I think this is just how we want it to test, so we're just kind of doing that play every single time. So here, this is one of those spots where, Brynhir is just fantastic into this exact kind of scenario. I have a 4 might unit in base. If I play this Brynhir and he does not respond to it with anything, this Vex will die to my Kaisa, and then the game is completely playable on my side, unless he has another Vex. So here he's just thinking what to do. He fight or flights his Vex back, which I think you kind of have to. And then I'll Kaisa to conquer and draw. I should move the Inferno back because currently the Vex can just walk into that battlefield and kill it for free and then hold the battlefield, so I do that later after realizing that that was a mistake. I sided out the pikes, and now I'm just regretting it because I'd rather have a pike here that I could hide onto a battlefield. That way, if I wanted the Inferno to stay on the battlefield and prevent him from getting it, at least he has to respect the pike, being like a 5 might unit. Or even a Mirai. The Mirai would be excellent as a 3 might unit. But instead, he just gets to walk in for free. So having the hidden cards would be nice. So when I side, I'll side differently next time. Especially if I'm going first. So here he plays stack deck. My Kaisa is actually getting punished by my own battlefield. She's at 2. So yeah, instead of taking the Targons, he just takes this one to kill the Kaisa for free, and then he plays a fan and he passes, I believe, or he has a card and then passes. So yeah, here I'm thinking, okay, so here I can do the thing where I walk in my units one by one. I can also resolve this stare down and make him lose the hidden card, and then try to take control of both battlefields. And drawing this sabotage is extremely nice. If he has like a defy or something, I can take that out of his hand here. So my stare down absolutely goes through. So he reveals his hand. I take his defy, and then I show him the stare down. He makes fun of me because I call this a Mickey Mouse card, but it's actually working out extremely well for us because this Brynhir gets to push his entire battlefield off, and whatever hidden card that is, he has to use it now or lose it. So he goes back, and the hidden card is a back off. So yeah, the hidden card does nothing, and it falls off. So now I get to take both, which is great. I should be reinforcing the fields as evenly as possible. I'll get 2 energy back from the Targon. So I'm just thinking if I want to ambush with Nidalee or ambush with the Rengar and Champ Zone. I decide to do Rengar and Champ Zone. He also has, I don't think Bone Skewer actually does anything. Okay, so then he'll do stack deck. Looking for answers. The point tempo is completely in my favor. He got this Walmaw 1 turn too late. If he had it instead of the stack deck and he had his 8 mana, he could have taken a battlefield again. His only challenge would then be getting over to the other battlefield because my point tempo is quite high. Whichever battlefield the Valma is not on, I would try to attack the other one. I don't really have a reasonable way of getting over the Valma. I'm playing 1 punch first, I'm playing 2 against the odds. Those are like the only ways my units can ever deal damage in a showdown with the Valma. So yeah, this game is pretty much over. I'll just go to 7, and then it doesn't really matter what he has. I don't think he can clear both battlefields after this. Alright, next game. Again, we're not going to talk about mulligans right now. I don't think I'm ready at a point where I can really talk about them. I'm just looking for Fey Folk for the most part, so trying to mulligan 1 or 2 cards if I don't have it. Here I'm just thinking, okay, how do I set myself up? These going second turns, I was trying to figure out like what is the pattern that I need to do, and I think the pattern is just load up your base and don't take a battlefield. So we play the Inferno, and I'm thinking here I'm playing a Gambit here because he has to respect punch first and he has to respect against the odds. If he does neither of those things and he just lets this resolve without playing anything, I'll kill his fan for my Inferno, which I think is okay because I don't really have a better way to deal with a fan and a Vex at a battlefield. Maybe if I had like a challenge or something, but I don't have it in my hand anyway. So this is a bluff. If he has a stun card, he could stun me and kill me and keep everything, which I think I'm mostly okay with because I could just play First Mate and Noxious Hopeful to base. And he's tapped out, so this is one of those times where I think I can get a little bit more value by bluffing him. And he has to like use his fan trigger right now, right? So and if he doesn't trigger the fan, then his hidden card has to be like a stun card. So yeah, he decides to trigger the fan and push the Inferno back, which is what we wanted. So the bluff worked. I play the first mate. Here I'm thinking about, do I want to move this Inferno forward or not? And I think I realize as I'm ending my turn, like, nah, I should not move the forward. Like, I should not move it forward because who cares about the points? If this Vex dies, I can play the game and I can probably win. If this Vex lives, I just cannot play the game. We're miserable. We have to keep developing in base and looking for a way to get it off the battlefield. So he just passes with everything up. This Brynhir is super clutch again. You guys can see that. Now he has to like dump his hand, dump his hidden cards. Like he has to play his cards. Otherwise, I'm just gonna walk in and kill his Vex. So he says, I'm gonna do nothing. So then, okay, now you can't play any cards. Fair and balanced card with Brynhir. So I just trade my hopeful, get his cards out. So he had a hidden back off. I feel like if I was him during that overzealous fan interaction, I would have used the back off on the Inferno and just been like, okay, well, you're dealing no damage to me, so what can you do now? You just die. But anyway, we take both battlefields. The Brynhir's in base. He has to take a turn off to develop. He has another Vex, so we need to hold battlefields and not let the Vex come on for free. So I'm just trying to set up as best as possible. Here, I think it's a mistake not giving the Kai'Sa a buff. This Thrill of the Hunt and Brynhir combo is completely live right now. I think the thing I was worried about was, am I really going to be playing that combo? Because he could easily just defy my Thrill of the Hunt, and I would have like no... Like after I do that, then I would not be able to play this 5-drop Rengar from the champ zone. So that's kind of why I didn't buff the Kai'Sa. But you guys will see this. The way the turn plays out, the Kai'Sa not being buffed matters a lot. So, but I don't know. I'm not too sure what's the right thing to do. I slide the hidden card over, I think. Oh yeah, because the left battlefield had 6 might and the right battlefield had 7 might. And I wanted to make it as even as possible. So I gave the battlefield with less might the hidden card. No idea if that's correct. I'm just going with it and learning along the way. So he moves his Vex up and starts a showdown, and with focus plays Discipline to go to 6. And then On Guard to go to 8. So this is where the Kai'Sa not being buffed matters, because if I was at 8, then it would just be an even trade, and he'd still have to keep dumping more cards. Because I'm on defense, I'm thinking, okay, I can ambush with this Rengar and keep him off the battlefield. It's pretty hard for them to deal with like +7, unless he has exactly like Fight or Flight or Rebuke. I'm also thinking about Thrill of the Hunt. I'm thinking about, do I want to reveal this Mirai and play the Mirai to the Vex field to deal 2 damage, which means my Kai'Sa in first mate would kill it? Do I want to use my Thrill of the Hunt and put the Brynhir on the other battlefield and also stop him from playing any more cards? And then he decides that his sequence was not completely optimal. He's also thinking about Thrill of the Hunt, and I guess he didn't have a Defy, so he has to do it this way. So he wanted to resequence his moves, and he said instead of playing the buff spells, he would start with a Charm, and he would want to charm the Brynhir off of the battlefield. So I said, sure, in response to your charm, I will play a Thrill of the Hunt, and I'll choose my own Brynhir. And then he says, yep, that is good to resolve. So now the Brynhir resolve is triggering, and he has a choice to respond. So he plays a Discipline on the Vex, but now his On Guard doesn't give him +2, it only gives him +1. So he decides to buff, he decides to buff the Treasure Hunter. So by doing it this way, the treasure hunter goes to 4, it can kill the Kaisa, and then the Vex can kill the first mate. So this is playing around more stuff, which is fine. I needed to have an ambush like Nidalee or something in order to keep him off the battlefield. And then he hides a card, and it says go. Here I can trigger the amateur recital. So I'm just thinking, what do I want to do with this Brynhir? And then just the way that the last turn played out, and him using his discipline and on guard inefficiently or suboptimally, I kind of suss out that, he probably does not have a way to get bigger than my Brynhir. So maybe I should just be attacking with the Brynhir. So I'm just kind of like, we're just talking it through, like, what should we do? And I think I end up deciding, okay, attacking with Brynhir and seeing what they have is completely fine. Again, we're just testing, so just seeing how it goes. And my logic was, if you had more buff spells, you would have used them last turn. So he has the Existential Dread to stun my attacking unit, so I'm completely happy with this. I wanted to play the Rengar to this battlefield so I can get the buff on the Rengar. Even though I know that, it's just going to be stunned. It doesn't really matter to me. It's better than playing it into base and not getting a chance to buff it, And then I play the Mirai to base, and I pass. I think that's fine. He gets to draw a card off leader ability. I'm still ahead on points, and I have a big attack coming, so he has to do something. He plays Bone Skewer. He sees the Rengar. He says, no thank you. He hides a fresh card, and he passes. Luckily, I top deck Sabotage. I mean, it is what it is. If he has a Valma, I'm not going to ever really be able to attack that battlefield. He doesn't have a Valma. He shows me Thwonk and Defy not so fast. I just picked the Thwonk, but then I just realized, like, oh, you should just Defy, so then this way you do have a Thwonk, right? And he says, oh yeah, let's do that. So we do reveal it, and then and here at this point we're just like working through the lines. I'm like, okay, so if my plan was to attack you, then I should probably use the Amateur Recital battlefield, reveal my hidden card, and then, like, responding to the trigger of the Recital, reveal my hidden card and move the Inferna back. I could also move the Mirai. No, I should move the Inferna back. Yeah, so I just moved the Inferna back. And then now, that way I'll have 4 units who can all attack the Vex battlefield. So by attacking with 4 units like that, he would need to have like 3 stuns to kill me, or to make me like fail the combat. Because I have Mirai plus Inferna attacking for 2 and 3, and then Rengar and Brynhir attacking for 7 and 5. So he would stun Rengar and Brynhir for sure, and then he would need to stun 1 more of those units in order to make me fail the attack, or of course like Fight or Flight and Rebuke and all of those kind of cards. So as long as I'm holding the other battlefield with like 1 unit and I'm ahead on points, like, I think failing the attack is completely okay. He just has to keep top decking more and more outs. So yeah, I attack with everything. He reveals that his hidden card was nothing but a Bone Skewer, which obviously he does not want my Rengar to be played to a battlefield. So yeah, that is the game here. It's just too much for him to come back from. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I think, you guys can see that Rengar has ways to play into Vex. It's not an easy matchup. It's not a fun matchup, but it is possible to navigate your way and deal with the Vex. You guys didn't really get to see Fey Folk too much, but Fey Folk really does help this matchup a lot. Brynhir helps the matchup the most, I think, by far. Their color combination likes to play a lot of reaction spells, or just spells in general. So even though they have a window to react to Brynhir, it still puts them in a very difficult situation. And us getting to replay Brynhir with our signature spell is obviously very strong when we get to turn their whole turn off, if they ever try to trigger something. So yeah, here's some gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It goes a long way. And thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.